from the Saints 32. Four-man front, threatened blitz by a corner. Here's the toss pitch running to the left side. Bucs read that toss pitch. Tackle made at the 34-yard. Fumble football, scooped up by the Bucs far sideline to the 10. Evans, just Evans has a touchdown, Tampa Bay. Fumble football, scooped and scored down the right sideline. Justin Evans, a second-year safety from Penn State. The Buccaneers lead by 2 touchdowns. Formation now with a fullback / H-back of the snap. Play action fake. Pattern wants to throw deep. Down the field it goes toward Deshaun Jackson. Makes the catch at the 40, to the 30, to the 25. Deshaun Jackson to the 20, 15, 10, 5, 3, 2, 1. First play of the game. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Wow. Fire the cannons. Fire them again. Shotgun formation. Limited motion. Dropping Foles. Foles is hit. He's hit. Loses the football. It's ruled. A fumble football. Recovered by the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the ball. Takeaway number 1. Big hit by Jason Pierre-Paul. I feel it. Quan Alexander. And Carlton Davis recovers the football. It's Buccaneer ball. Here's the snap. Empty backfield. Baker Mayfield under pressure. He will go down on the 18-yard line. Sacked again. This time by Carl Nassib. The former Brown gets to the guy he could not touch during preseason practice. Carl Nassib. Dropping 7 steps. Winston looks to the pass downfield. Throwing toward Deshaun Jackson. He makes the catch at the 5. 3, 2, 1. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Deshaun Jackson with a long touchdown grab. I believe he just went by Jerry Rice with the most touchdowns of 60 yards or longer in a career. Snap of the ball on second down. Fitzpatrick looking, fires underneath. Caught by Humphries to the 20. Inside the 15. Humphries to the 10. To the 5-yard. Humphries to the 5. 3, 2. 1-yard line. He's close. Is he in, Mr. Ref? He's short by about a foot. Great effort by Adam Humphries.
After review, the ruling on the field will be changed. Touchdown.
There you go. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Eli Manning under center. We threaten a blitz from the right side. Here's a play action fake dropping and under pressure. The blitz gets to Manning and drops him at the 45-yard line. JPP's going to get another sack. He got half a sack with Carl Nassib in the first half, and I believe he's going to get sole credit for that quarterback sack. Here's the snap, empty backfield. We run a stunt, can't get to Duke, throws the ball upfield. It is intercepted, picked off of the 35, outside the numbers to the 25, to the 20. He's out of bounds. In a third down and 18. Superman makes a mistake. Here's the snap. Dropping is Newton under pressure, gets the pass to the near sideline, and it's an intercepted ball. Picked off of the 30-yard line. Tremendous interception. What a great grab by Andrew Adams. His second interception of the game. Waits, here's the snap. Has plenty of time to look. He's hit as he throws the ball. It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12-yard line. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have 4 today. What an interception, diving for it. And Andrew Adams has a hat trick today. That is his 3rd of the ball game. Takes the snap. 4-man rush. Pressured out of the pocket. Flushed out of the pocket. Rolls to his left. Still rolling. Throws the ball downfield. He's got Evans. Evans to the 40. He makes the catch at the 30. Station bounce to the 20. A flag is thrown. Maybe a face mask. And the Buccaneers get a huge conversion on 3rd down and forever. And Winston buys time. Jogging to his left and hits Mike Evans on the run. Running back is Barber. Play action fake. Winston looks upfield. Throws a seam caught by Evans. He's the new single-season record holder. For the Buccaneers needed 5, and he got a lot more. First down at the 39-yard line. Mike Evans, a career and a season to remember.
Welcome, everybody, to the 3rd annual PewterCast Awards show. I am so excited that you guys are joining us. I'm so excited that you guys are here. I am Brent Allen, your host, and guys, I got to tell you, quite honestly, this is my favorite show that we get to do all year long. So I'll be with you guys all night tonight, but I'm not here by myself. Oh, no. As you guys know, we have a co-host here. He is absolutely here. Ren, looking oh so dapper daxed. Ren, what's going on, buddy?
I thought we were gonna, dress up for this. What's going on?
What?
I got my pocket square. I've got my bow tie. I've got my NFL issued USF Bulls team issued.
Your NFL issued collegiate gloves.
Exactly. Well, they are made by the NFL though. There's an NFL logo on them. So I'm ready to go.
Man, I'm excited, dude. I am so excited. I logo wear tonight, man. This is the PewterCast Awards show. This isn't just a regular instant cast or anything like that. This is us, man. And dude, I'm excited. And Ren, it's your third anniversary, buddy, or second. I don't know. I forget the numbers. You've been around for a while. But man, this is it. This is it for you, bud.
This is it for you, bud.
Yeah. That's
This,
it, guys. I'm leaving the show. I'm out. Deuces.
No,
Yeah.
like Brent. This is Brent's most, like he said at the beginning. This is his favorite show, hands down. He dragged me on last night so we could rehearse the Tonys. It's the Tony Awards, like we're doing the Tony Awards, but
Yep.
it's high production this year. This is gonna be a first for us. We got some surprises. Record turnout and voters. I'm excited. This has been a good year for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And with that, I want to say hello to everyone who is joining us live on YouTube. This is the first year that this is being video broadcast live. So hello to you guys. You guys are going to see some fun stuff here as you guys are listening. I want to say hello to everybody who is joining us live in Mixlr. You guys are awesome listening to the audio feed over there. And then everybody who has downloaded the show on the podcast feed as well. Hello to all of you guys. As Ren said, this is my favorite show. And listen, guys, here's why. Because really, as far as we know, and we're pretty plugged in, this is the only fan-voted award show in Tampa Bay for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the surrounding community around the Buccaneers. And so this isn't just Ren and I saying, hey, here's who we think did really well this year. This is you guys. This is us together, our fellow fans coming together to celebrate, even in the midst of, let's face it, Ren, a rather disappointing season, the good things that still happened. And so here we are. This is a fan-voted awards. Just so you guys know, here's how this show works, okay? If you're tuning in, this is the very first time you've ever heard of us. Here's what happens. Towards the end of the season, we get in touch with a handful of specifically chosen people that we pull together as a nominating committee. And that nominating committee is made up of 2 members of the Buccaneers credentialed media. So these are the guys that are like the big dogs, the professionals out there. This is also made up of 2 people, not us, 2 people that are non-credentialed media. That's fringe media. So we have 2 of those guys, and then we get 2 non-media people altogether. So people who don't write articles, people who don't have podcasts, people who don't, they're just fans. But for whatever reason, we've come to know them through the community that we develop here. And so that group, and then Ren and I get our own input because, let's face it, Ren, it's our show. And we kind of cull everything together, and that becomes who gets nominated. And then we open up the voting for 3 weeks. We put it out there for the wide general public to go vote. And you guys went out, and man, did you guys turn out in droves. This is our 3rd annual PewterCast Award. So, Ren, how about a few stats, buddy, for the folks out there?
Oh, please.
Let's do it. All right, the first year we did this show, we had about 1,000 votes. Pretty respectable. I was pretty pleased. We got up over 1,000. That was really great. The second year, last year, we more than tripled that number to over 3,600 votes. It was 3,649, if memory serves correctly. It was real close to 36 and a half. Which, I mean, we tripled the votes from year 1 over to year 2, right? And this year, our goal was 10,000 votes. We said, hey, let's try to triple that number again. Let's get to 10,000. Well, Ren, I'm here to tell you guys, for this year, the 3rd annual PewterCast Award Show, not only did we just hit the 10,000 number, we took last year's number and added a cool 10,000 on top of that, which is awesome. We had over 13,677 votes in this year's PewterCast Award Show.
Yeah, that was impressive. I remember you told me, when we were talking about putting this back together this year, not that was ever in question, but what you want to do and what we were hitting for, and then your goals like, yeah, I want to get 10,000 votes. And I was like, okay. What did we do last year? And you're like, no, we did like 3,600. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, we'll see. But yeah, smoked it. Almost added 10 G's Or probably did. Probably added over.
No, we
10
did. Yeah, it's 10,023 votes, I think, if my math is correct. So, yeah, we hit it, man.
So thanks everybody out there, for going in and voting more than once and all that good stuff because, we smoked that mark.
There you go. Well, Ren, this is an award show, and so we've got some stuff to give away. But first, a little bit of business to get to before we get to the awards. We had a little bit of we had a fantasy league this past year, and we had so many people sign up that we actually had 2 fantasy leagues running concurrently. And we are here now, so we're going to kick off the show by giving away the prizes because we had to split it into 2 conferences. There was the BFC and the RFC. There'd be the Brent Football Conference and the Wren Football Conference, and the winner of each side, the winner of the BFC is going to get a signed Vita Vea rookie card. The winner of the RFC was going to get a signed Carlton Davis Jr. rookie card. So glad to be able to hand those out. So, Ren, I will go first if you don't mind, and I would like to say congratulations to the winner of the BFC. It was not me this year, unfortunately. However, let's go ahead and give it out. Alan Decker, who is also one of our patrons as well. Alan, good friend of the show. We got to hang out with him the other night in one of our patron hangouts. So congratulations, Alan. We're going to get this in the mail to you. You get the signed Vita Vea rookie card. And just a fun little fact, I feel like I should give this guy a shirt or something. Nick Citro, who was the runner-up to the championship, this was his second year playing, and the last time he was in, he was also the runner-up when he lost to yours truly, who won the first one. But
every time we talk about fantasy football, you talk about the time you won like 2 years ago.
Literally the only time I've ever won anything in fantasy football.
How many people were in that league? Like 5?
No, we had like 12. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was full.
Fair.
All right, Ren, the RFC, who would you like to give away the signed Carlton Davis rookie card to? Who beat you over there at the RFC?
Nobody. So nobody gets it. Because I'm not a swag guy. Everyone, if you've listened to the show long enough, I don't collect shirts, with people's names on the back. I don't have any Buccaneer watches, mugs, towels, posters. I don't have any of that stuff. Now, if they give it to me free at a game, I take it. If they give me a shirt at training camp, I take it. And that's about all I have. So since, you have to actually win. Like, we're not one of those organizations that you get participation trophies. Right. Since I'm not a swag guy, the Carlton Davis Jr. signed autograph card will be going to somebody else somewhere else down the line because I went undefeated. All the way through.
Yeah,
they're undefeated.
Yeah,
I went 162-0.
They're having words about you right now in the chat room. For the record. So, and I will leave those words there because this is a PG-13 show, Red. But hey, listen, to everybody who joined us in the fantasy leagues, you made it enough for us to have 2. We kind of capped into each one. Guys, it was a lot of fun getting to do that with you guys throughout the season. Be on the lookout. We'll have another one coming up this coming season. And who knows what could be on the line for that. So, all right, Ren, with all of that out of the way, why don't we get to some Pewties, buddy? What do you say? Let's do what we came here to do. Let's do it. All right. Well, let's see here. First up, we kind of have 2 groups of awards. The first one we're going to get to is these are non-Buccaneer organizational awards. These are awards that really are kind of surrounding the community around the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we're going to kick this off, Ren, with one that's personal to us, a little bit near and dear to our heart. Over the course of the year, we have guests who come in and visit us, and we get them here on the show. And so we're going to kick off tonight's show with the PewterCast Guest of the Year. Now, for those of you guys who are joining us live, those of you in YouTube, those of you over on Mixler, go ahead and drop your picks in the chat room. Let us know who you voted for. Go ahead and do it now. And while all of that fun is happening, let's take a look at who the nominees were.
Touchdown Tampa Bay! Bucs lead! Fire them cannons!
Guest of the Year nominees: Rock Riley, SportsTalkFlorida.com; Rick Stroud, Tampa Bay Times; Pat Donovan, WDAE; Steve Versnick, Sports Day Tampa Bay Podcast; Scott Smith, Buccaneers.com; Carmen Vitale, Buccaneers.com; Derek Fournier, What the Buck; Gene Thomas, Buck What You Heard; Tom Bassinger, Tampa Bay Times. Justin Pulowski, Bucs Uncensored. Mark Cook, PewterReport.com. JC Cornell, TheDraftNetwork.com.
All right. And the winner is, one of these years I'm going to actually get envelopes to open up. And the winner is PewterCast Guest of the Year is going to, drumroll please, Mark Cook of ThePewterReport.com.
The first surprise of the evening.
First surprise of the evening. Yeah, man, Mark Cook. He was on, I should have this pulled up. He was on about mid-season for us. I think he was kind of in the first half, middle part of the season. But man, Mark did a good job. He really
This one
did.
was hotly contested.
It was. This was one that went back and forth.
Leads a few times.
More than a few. More than a few.
And I remember about a week ago, or about halfway through the voting process, or about a week and a half ago, I tweeted out, and it was. I don't want to say it was a 3-man race, but at that time, a week and a half ago, it was like Carmen, Cook, and Pulowski, and I think there were 35 votes in between like first place and third place.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. And then when I put that tweet out, like that's when it started to really start flip flopping and turning. And then at the end, cookie.com, took the lead and held on to it.
He did, yeah. He held on to the lead for the last several days for sure. So, very, very solid win. But hey, listen, to everyone who was a guest over the last year, thank you guys so much. You're part of what makes the show happen. You're part of, putting out great content. And, I know certainly Ren and I, tickled to death to get to talk to you guys. But congratulations to Mark. Mark is a good friend of the show. He's always a fun guy to talk to. He's always
easy
a good
to make
guest.
fun of on Twitter.
Yes, and he'll dish it right back too, which is great. So,
yes, but as this is Brent's, like Brent said at the beginning, this is his favorite show. Usually it's the Tuesday shows where we get to do the interview, bring people in, and those are my favorite segments to do every week is getting to talk, to our guests.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, congratulations, Mark. Let's move on to the next award. We're going to move to now the Buccaneers Podcast of the Year. Now, who qualified for this? Basically, if you have a podcast and it's about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's who the nominating committee could choose. And it was really hard to narrow this down. So we left it at a big field, but it wasn't there's like 30 of us out there right now. So we are a podcast, so this is an award for other podcasts out there. So why don't we go ahead and take a look and see who the nominees are.
The kick, airborne. Chandler Catanzaro. Is it? It's good! The Buccaneers win in overtime.
Podcast of the Year nominees. In the Trenches with Ian Beckles. Bucs Uncensored. The Pewter Nation Podcast. Locked on Bucs. The Ira Kaufman Podcast. The PewterCast. Buck what you heard.
And the winner is for Bucs Podcast of the Year is going to our good friends James and David at the Locked On Bucs Podcast.
That was just rude. So rude. That's so rude. No, they do a good job. They normally, at least during the season, they put out 5 a week.
Yeah.
And they do a good job. They get some good guests. There's a lot of similarities between our podcast and their podcast, and they promoted it a lot on their pod. And I'm not saying that's the reason they won, but they took a lead early and kept it.
Yeah.
And it ended up not even really being close, which again, rude for everyone who voted. Rude.
Hey, listen, it was in the words of Alexander Hamilton, I'd like to congratulate you on a campaign well run. But I mean, gosh, man, as you said, man, putting out 5 pods a week is not easy. We do 4, and we kind of cheat because we really do 3, and we split one up into 2 segments. But it's a lot. It is really a lot. So they do a great job. So congratulations to James and David. You guys have a great show, and I get to jump on there every once in a while with them. Good friends of the show as well. Actually,
it
fact,
was Brett Allen Thursday for a while.
It was. And then David got real sick, and then I had a thing, and then we got back to it, and then we didn't. And so, who knows? You may see something new pop up for next year for Thursday.
So are you going to accept that on their behalf?
I will. Yes, and I will keep it.
Keep it at your house.
And I will keep it. You're not getting it. For podcast of the year, 3 years running, my own show has not won. It's okay. I'm not jealous at all. All right, moving on. All right.
Yeah,
all right. Next category. This is for Bucs Media Personality of the Year. Now, this one, the stipulation for this had to be credentialed Buccaneers media. That's who we wanted for this particular category. And Ren, I think maybe next year in the future we'll add like maybe a non-credentialed media category or something, because there's so many great groups out there. But this is really for credentialed media. And for the sake of this, I don't know if they're actually credentialed, so to speak, but they really do the same thing, and they're there in the building. So we went ahead and allowed for employees of the Buccaneers, specifically Scott and Carmen and Casey, to also be potentially nominated. And, well,
they all did.
They all did. And here's the rest of the nominees as well.
Mullins will take the snap. Play action fake, dropping the throw, looks up. He's going to be sacked. Dropped by Pierre Paul. He reaches double figures in sacks for the first time since Simeon Rice.
Media Personality of the Year nominees: Rick Stroud, Tampa Bay Times; Greg Allman, The Athletic; Jenna Lane, ESPN; Scott Smith, Buccaneers.com; Pat Donovan, WDAE; Scott Reynolds, PewterReport.com; Casey Phillips, Buccaneers.com; Carmen Vitale, Buccaneers.com; Ira Kaufman, JoeBucksFan.com; Trevor Sikkema, PewterReport.com; Steve Isbitz, JoeBucksFan.com.
And the winner is for Bucs Media Personality of the Year. Congratulations. Ren, we've actually already had one like this. Congratulations goes out to the PewterReport.com and the DraftNetwork.com. Again, Trevor Sikkema winning our first back-to-back Pewty of the night.
Yeah, he won last year for this, and this one really wasn't even close.
No.
Trevor smoked him from out the gate and got a lead and actually extended the lead, which isn't surprising. You know, his sort of style that he brought here to Pewter Report Top Down a couple years ago was just different, and it was more like teaching you things and explaining, well, okay, this seems to be the hot topic around Buccaneers social media. Here's why or why not this may possibly will or will not work. You know, and he broke it down, and his cover 3 has become a must read. But I think from what I understand, you know, he's already off their podcast, the Pewter Nation podcast, and I heard that he's still doing the cover 3, but I don't know how much he'll be around.
Yeah,
next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to Trevor. My best understanding of it. Well, I'm not going to say it. I don't know. Hey, Trevor, let us know exactly what's going on in where you are. As I understand, I think he's stepping away to focus on the draft, and maybe he'll be back more full time. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to speak that. Trevor,
the reason I brought that up is because he might be moving on and give somebody else a chance.
Oh, for next year, yeah, right, yeah. Right, yeah. Trevor. This is a well-deserved award. Wins it back to back. It was a great get by Scott Reynolds and Mark Cook over there at Pewter Report to bring Trevor on to the staff. You're right. That cover 3, it really is a must read. Anyway, congratulations, Trevor. Absolutely congratulations. And definitely well-deserved. All right, Ren, well, why don't we turn our attention a little bit to the Buccaneers organization itself? That's kind of some of the surrounding people that we had there. But now why don't we go into the organization, players, coaches, and whatnot. And the first award we're going to get to is Coach of the Year.
Okay, we're getting into the meat of it now.
Yeah, the meat of it, absolutely. So now, in order to qualify for this award, okay, fine. You just had to be a coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
There you go.
Let's find out who the nominees are.
Fitzpatrick to throw and has time in the pocket. Airing it out deep to Sean Jackson. Wide open. He's got it, and that's going to be a Buccaneer touchdown.
Coach of the Year nominees: Todd Monken, Offensive Coordinator; Mark Duffner, Defensive Coordinator; Brinson Buckner, Defensive Line Coach; Skylar Fulton, Wide Receivers Coach.
All right. And the winner is, for Coach of the Year, Mark, Defensive Coordinator from the midseason, Duffner. Mark Duffner winning it. Also, our second back-to-back winner of a PewterCast award.
I'm a little bit shocked by this.
Yeah.
I really was. I mean, I thought Skylar Fulton could have been a dark horse because he had 4 receivers with over 50 catches or something and 750 yards. That's only happened a few times. Brinson Buckner, it was a nice story, but since it took so long for the defense to get rolling, and the defense really, has been the Achilles heel of the team the past couple of years. And not that it was Buckner's fault last year, but the defensive line was maybe around average, just above average, for all the money they put into it. And then you have Duffner, who, shaved more than a touchdown off points per game once Mike Smith left, but it's, it was still like 26th, 27th in the league.
Right.
So, with the Bucs being like somewhere in the top 5 in scoring, for most of the year, end up being the top 10 in scoring, top 1 or 2 or 3 in yards, and depending how you score the offense, we were always up there. I thought Monken was pretty safe, and Fulton was the dark horse. But last year, Duffner got it for Defensive Coach of the Year. Or did he get it for Coach of the Year? Was it?
No, he got it for Coach of the Year. Yeah, Duffner got it because of if you remember last year, talk what you will about the defense, the linebacker core, that Quan Alexander, Levante David, Kendall Beckwith core, and then even a Darius Taylor, you throw him into that. I mean, it was an unstoppable group last year. Yeah. So he won that for last year, was for linebacker coach. But I get it, and I think if you're in the mind of the voter, certainly Monken is there and among it. But even though the defense didn't shoot up into the stratosphere once Duffner became the defensive coordinator, the leap from where they were to at least the way it felt like, all of a sudden it felt like the Buccaneers had a competing chance with that. So, I get it. And, honestly, I thought Todd Monken was going to win this one, as you said, just because of considering what the offense was able to do this year. But, the fans, this is a fan voted thing. This isn't just you and me. And the fans kind of went out and Mark Duffner. And listen, it's also well deserved. I can't argue with that.
Yeah. He won. I'm not going to say it's well deserved.
All right.
He won. Congratulations, Coach.
Yeah, there it is.
Wherever you are.
We'll figure out a way to get this to you because I don't know where you are right now. And we'll figure that out. But anyway, congratulations to Mark Duffner winning back-to-back Pewties. All right, next category we are moving on to. We'll give away our first Pewtie to a player tonight. This is the off-the-bench player of the year. Now, this is the guy who, when he came into the team, or at least at the start of this year, he was not the starter. He was not listed as the starter in their position, but they came out and they made a significant contribution. Maybe they won the job of starter, maybe not, but either way, they really were somebody who came in and made a significant impact to the team, even though they weren't one of those starting 22 players on the team. So let's find out who the nominees are.
Baker Mayfield under pressure. He will go down on the 18-yard line. Sacked again, this time by Carl Nassib.
Off the bench player of the year nominees: Carl Nassib, defensive end; Andrew Adams, safety; Vita Vea, defensive tackle; Jordan Whitehead, safety.
And the winner of the Off the Bench Player of the Year award is going to defensive end Carl Nassib. Congratulations, Carl.
Yeah, that was as much as I sort of scoffed at the voters for Duffner last one, I will applaud the voters for this one. I kind of felt this one was a no-brainer. You could almost argue we created this award to make sure he got one. Nassib got one. You can't, not official, and I don't want an inquiry started. But there's been talk around the water cooler.
Yeah.
That this award might have been geared toward a certain defensive lineman that was picked up on waivers from the Cleveland Browns.
There you go. I can actually put that one to rest. This actually has been an award we've had in all 3 of our years. This one was created for Keith Tandy 2 years ago, if you remember that guy. But yeah, this one was certainly, I would say, brought back. Because we did. And by the way, for those of you who've been around with the PewterCast, not all of these categories are the same as they have been in previous years. Some got dropped, some got added, some new ones were created, and some were changed. So
yeah, the first year we did the Razzie?
Yeah, we had like the Razzies, the not good ones, and
it's like here's your trophy, Doug. It was like, who was the most disappointing Buccaneer?
Yeah.
And they got a trophy, and like you had to, like Doug Martin got a trophy with the PewterCast on it that said most disappointing player.
No, he didn't. I didn't give out trophies to those guys. Yeah, that was.
Oh, you didn't?
No, not for those guys. I did for the good guys, not for the bad guys. Yeah, that was one of the change. Certainly one of the first changes I think I made. I went. Yeah, and I think I want that to be the tone of this particular show.
I don't even think that waited till next year. You're like, yeah, I don't think we should do those again.
Ever
like
again.
3 days later, I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And honestly, it was meant to be funny and like good-natured ribbing, and it just turned out mean. So
yeah,
it's just not what we're there. But man, Carl Nassib, we'll bring it back to this guy. Man, Carl was a monster this year. He came in. I forget how many sacks he had, but I mean, it wasn't just in sacks. He and JPP, playing opposite each other.
Lots of speed off the edges.
Yeah, absolutely. So, they're saying in the chat room that we should call it the Keith Tandy Honorary Off the Bench Player of the Year award. That won't fit on the trophy, Corey. That won't fit on the trophy. All right. Next category, we are moving over. This is actually a new category this year, Ren. We are moving to the Unsung Hero of the Year. Now, this is a guy.
I like this one.
I like this one too. This is a guy who was consistent, was a workhorse, was a Mr. Reliable, but maybe not a guy who gets all the accolades of, the superstars on the team. So we're going to give this guy some accolades.
It's like a guy who had a really good year, but it's not going to win like defensive MVP, offensive MVP. Not going to win MVP of the team. It's not going to win sort of these other awards. But, you're like, hey, you had a really good year and you should be recognized for it.
Yeah, so we're going to do that. You guys voted. You're also giving the accolades. And those nominees were.
Second down and 12. Winston throws back across the field to Adam Humphreys. And Humphreys will take it in for a Bucs touchdown.
Unsung Hero of the Year nominees: Peyton Barber, running back; Ali Marpet, left guard; Adam Humphreys, wide receiver; Carl Nassib, defensive end.
And the winner is for the Unsung Hero of the Year award is going out to Adam Humphreys.
Well deserved.
Yes.
That was it's almost like it's an award in itself just to be in that category. It is, because it's like, because Barber's not up for any others.
Right.
Ali Marpet's not going to be up for any other awards. Adam Humphreys not up for any awards. Now Nassib was in on this one,
right?
But I think that's the last one he's up for this year.
Right.
No, I think he's up for defensive MVP. But anyway, this is, like I said, I think this is probably my favorite award, where you're actually shining a light on someone who's there day in, day out, does her job day in, day out. You don't hear from him because the reporters don't go to him a lot. and you don't hear from them because they're not crying, whining, complaining, kicking stuff in the locker room. They're doing their job and they're being pros, and they had a good year. So this could have been like, Humphreys could have had this almost every single year he's been here. At least been in the category.
Right,
but,
right.
He had a record year, man. Record year in receptions, record year in yards. So well deserved on that one.
Yeah, and hey, listen, Adam, I know you're watching, I know you're listening, and here's the deal. Your trophy will be waiting for you in your locker. So sign that offer, get back in the uniform, get back in the locker room. We'll see you back here in 2019 for the upcoming season.
We'll bring it to $1, and then Jason Light and Mike Greenberg will have it there.
Right
next to the contract and slide them both forward.
That's actually a good idea. We
we
should make that happen.
If you sign, don't worry about like the $6 million you're going to make per year. You also get the Pewty.
You get the Pewty.
Comes with the Pewty. Oh, you want to go to New England? There's no Pewty there for you.
Right. Hey, Adam Humphreys' agent, call us. This is a good bargaining chip for getting more money for Adam. All right, do that. He's an award winner, fan favorite. He is officially a fan favorite award winner. All right, let's move on. Next category. Man, we're rounding down.
I don't think we're going to get that call.
Probably not.
No.
864-729-BUCS. That's 864-729-2827. That number works all year long. All right, next category. Moving right along. This one goes to the free agent of the year. Now, listen, guys, this is exactly what it sounds like. The rules for this was they had to be a free agent last year, and we had to sign them for this year. Now, this could include guys that we signed in the free agency all the way up through mid-season. So it's a lot of guys. There was a lot of different people. It also could be guys who were Buccaneers last year but were free agents, like a Ryan Fitzpatrick, maybe even a Brent Grimes. Though I promise you, fans would not have voted for that. Chris Conte was another one. Yeah, exactly. So it could be those guys. Those guys counted. Here's who did not count.
There you go.
Here's who did not count, because a lot of people asked about this. JPP does not count for this category because he was not a free agent, people. He was traded. Also, Carl Nassib, not a free agent. We claimed him off waivers. So those two guys not eligible for this particular award. And let's find out who the actual nominees were.
Sits. He was hit as he got rid of it. And then it's picked off. That's the 4th interception by the Bucs today. It's the 3rd for Andrew Adams.
Free Agent of the Year nominees: Ryan Jensen, center; Andrew Adams, safety; Cairo Santos, kicker; Ryan Fitzpatrick, quarterback.
That picture of Ryan Fitzpatrick cracks me up every time I see it. I don't know why. Where are we? The winner. Hey, the winner of the free agent of the year is Ryan Fitzpatrick. Congratulations, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
At the beginning of the year, I would have bet this was going to be Ryan Jensen's, he was going to win this hands down.
Sure.
Hands down. But when we got all the nominees in from, all the people that the nomination committee, we looked at it and we're like, there's really not 4 strong people here. And all of a sudden a light bulb went off in my head and I said, what about Ryan Fitzpatrick? And you're like, oh yeah, he was a free agent. So we threw him in here, and I still thought that possibly Ryan Jensen was going to win.
Sure.
But people thought about Ryan Fitzpatrick's start, and they had to come back in. Almost won the Cincinnati game, and then played, great in the Washington game. Just didn't score any points. Then had a terrible Giants game. That was it. But it's with, I think we're all expecting way too much from Ryan Jensen when he got here, as far as his skills at center and what we were going to see. And with the sort of the saloon door over there to his to his right side, didn't help him a lot. So I
can also throw into that what we have, at least as far as we can tell, shaky offensive line coach as well. So yeah, it now I will say this though, Ryan Jensen certainly certainly got his votes in this category. He was not forgotten by the voters. In fact, this was one of the more hotly contested categories throughout the entire voting process. And Ryan Fitzpatrick really only pulled ahead in the last couple of days. But he had a real late run of support, and it pushed him well over the top. So, it was back and forth for quite a while. I think this is one of the categories, and there's a couple, but this is one of the categories where at some point each of the nominees had the lead. So there it is. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, and really, when you think about the start that he got this team off, he's just supposed to be a backup quarterback, right? But when you think about what we went through with him in training camp, and then where this team got its start, and then even coming back in during the benching, it's the benching, But Ryan Fitzpatrick won, man, and I think this was one that was well deserved. This is truly one of those. I think all of the categories you could make an argument. Actually, I think this is probably true about most nominees across the entire board. You could make a good argument for any of them, but this one especially, really, I think you can make a good argument for. So, congratulations to Ryan and to everybody else just for being nominated.
And we'll be sending that Pewty
to the hospital when his wife gives birth to child number 12, I think, later this year.
Okay. I thought I was going to sit next to Mark Duffner's and collect dust.
Might. Who knows? We'll see. We got to figure the ones who come back to $1, those are easy to get to. It's the other guys we got to track down. All right. Next category, Rookie of the Year, guys. This is one that was open to our nominating committee to select the guys who were rookies. They could be draft picks. They could be undrafted free agents if they made enough of a splash. We could have traded. However we got them. They just had to be rookies in their rookie year. Let's take a look at the nominees.
Do we even have to run this tape?
Yes.
Okay.
No turnovers on either side today as Mullins goes down back at the 7-yard line. It's Vea.
Rookie of the Year nominees: Jordan Whitehead, safety; Vita Vea, defensive tackle; Carlton Davis III, cornerback.
And the winner for Rookie of the Year, we'll give it to Mr. Maui, Vita Vea. You're welcome.
Yeah, talk about one that wasn't close.
No.
Whitehead had a struggle. He got in late. Carlton Davis started, pretty much from day one because of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
But, besides quarterback, cornerback's the hardest transition. And, everyone thinks he's going to be fine. It's not like he had a terrible year, but he didn't have a great year. He had a rookie year.
He had a rookie year, yeah.
And he would have won this if Vita Vea would have stayed what Vita Vea started as.
Right.
But
you mean a bust? A wasted draft pick?
The worst football player I have ever seen.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Right.
Maybe the worst ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Worst football player ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
He's too fat. Can't play. He's too big. Can't play in Florida. Can't play in Tampa. It's too hot. Blah, blah,
right.
blah, 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 blah. But anyway.
Yeah.
He had a talking to, and the light bulb went on, and you saw the massive power to speed to agility talent that Vita Vea is, and it was fun to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch him next year.
Yeah, I cannot wait. So congratulations, Vita. My daughter particularly loves this. She's a huge Maui fan. She's a huge Moana fan, and she looks at she sees your card, that one that we're giving away, the signed one, and she loves it. So also got to meet him and hang out with him a little bit during training camp. So all right. Congratulations, Vita. All right, Ren. Hey, we're rounding this show out. It's time to get to kind of the big 3 categories of the night. And we're going to start this one with Defensive Player of the Year. And guys, listen, this one right here is pretty much exactly what it sounds like.
All receivers out. The blitz coming. Mayfield avoids it. Runs for the first down. He's got it. The ball's knocked out and he goes out of bounds.
Defensive Player of the Year nominees: Gerald McCoy, defensive tackle; Levante David, linebacker; Jason Pierre-Paul, defensive end; Carl Nassib, defensive end.
And the winner is, for Defensive Player of the Year, Give it up, everybody. Is it really any big surprise? Jason Pierre-Paul, JPP, taking it home for the defense.
Yeah, this was not a surprise. You might even be hard-pressed to find 4 people that could actually make this a close race. I think we had 3. Well, there was 4. I mean, you could have made an argument for all of them, but this, with the talk of year after year after year after year of the 10 sack total, when are we going to get a guy that gets 10 sacks? When are we going to have a defensive lineman? When we have anybody that gets 10 sacks? He comes in here, for a 3rd-round pick in his first year, and he was the only one sort of clicking or putting any pressure on the first, 4, 5, 6 weeks of the season before the rest of the defensive line started to catch up. And, around game, 11, 12, something like that, 13, he hit the 10 sack mark. And, he was one of the lone bright spots on a Buccaneers defense this year.
Yeah, I remember being at that game. They even they didn't stop the game, but at the very first opportunity they had, they made the big announcement that he'd cracked that total first time in a long time. So congratulations, JPP. You will be back, and your award will be waiting for you in your locker when you get there. Congratulations, very, very well deserved. All right, moving on. The next one is Offensive Player of the Year, and kind of like Defensive Player of the Year, it's exactly what it sounds like. And the nominees are.
Before we go any further, what's the origin of this outfit?
Well, it's nothing. I mean, I think we just have to stay humble, and we got to make sure we know how to handle success and all those things.
Offensive Player of the Year nominees: Mike Evans, wide receiver; O.J. Howard, tight end; Ryan Fitzpatrick, quarterback; Jameis Winston, quarterback.
And the winner for Offensive Player of the Year, Mr. Pro Bowler himself, Mike Evans. Congratulations, Mike.
Yes, this was not a shock.
No, it was not.
Another way. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I really think OJ, if he would have stayed healthy, could have gave him a run for his money. Could have gave Mike a run for his money this year.
Sure.
But alas, in the back and forth with the quarterbacks this year. So, but there really was nobody else. I mean, Cameron Brate had a little bit of a down year. Adam Humphries had his best year, but it wasn't close to Mike Evans.
Right.
Peyton Barber's year, not considered an MVP type of numbers. So there you go.
Yeah.
It was a one-man race.
Yeah, and listen, here's the deal. Mike Evans, make no mistake. Like, this wasn't he won because nobody else was even close to him. Like, he really deserved to win. Like, what he did this year, what he put up, the numbers he put up. And the fact that he did, and we've said this a few times, Ren, he did it so quietly, it seemed like this year,
Yeah, it was, we were like 9 or 10 games into the season, and people start talking about how he's closing in on 1,000 yards and most receptions and most yardage all time, and all that stuff. And it's like he's almost at 1,000 yards. Like,
really, he's there?
Where?
Yeah.
Have they thrown the ball today?
Right. He had like 4 receptions a game. Like, how is that possible? But when you're getting 20 some odd yards apiece, there you go. So, yeah. And hey, by the way, just a little programming note. This is actually Mike Evans' second time winning this award. He won it 2 years ago at the very first PewterCast award show. So, took a little break last year, but now he is back winning Offensive Player of the Year. So, all right, Ren. Well, buddy, this is it. We're down to our last award. We only have one more Pewty to hand out, and this, you could say, is the big one of the year. This is the big one of the night. This, we renamed it this year. It's quite simple. This is just the Buccaneers Player of the Year. This is the fan favorite. This is the guy who was the best player on our team for the 2018 season. Now, for the sake of programming stuff, there's only 2 nominees for this particular category. And Ren, right, you and I kind of debated this once we got everything back in from the nominating committee. You kind of in our own little powwow. And in the end, we kind of knew that it was going to be between 2 people. And we said, we just narrowed it down and said, let's.
Why put the other 2 people in there?
Right. Like let's not siphon off any votes. Let's actually let the two people go head to head. So
Two-man enter.
Yeah.
One-man lead.
And just for the sake of, because we've done it for everybody else, let's see who the nominees were.
Fitzpatrick protected deep. He's got Mike Evans all alone. Mike Evans is in for a Buccaneer score. Touchdown.
Player of the Year nominees: Jason Pierre-Paul, defensive end; Mike Evans, wide receiver.
There it is. JPP, Mike Evans, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the winner of the 2018 third annual PewterCast Award for Player of the Year. Congratulations. Goes to our man, Mr. Mike Evans.
Yeah, this was close. Not surprised, but it was close. It was close. I mean, it makes sense. He's like you said earlier, he's our only Pro Bowler. Now leads, the team in everything that has to do with receiving.
Right.
Plus, the only third person to ever start their career with 4,000-yard seasons, and if he does it 2 more years, he'll have that record all to himself. So
5. His first 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. 5 years. You're right. But the numbers are still true. If he does it 2 more years, he'll have it all to himself. And so congratulations, Mark.
Yeah, Mike. Absolutely. And hey, another programming note for Mike Evans. This is his first time winning this award, but he joins Jameis Winston and Levante David as winners in this category. So, man, Mike, absolutely congratulations. You said to a media member, I'll remember this, I'll never forget this. You said, some media was like, oh, Mike, they like to think, you're trying to be an elite wide receiver in this league. And he stopped him right in the middle of it and just went, I am elite. I'm not trying to be. I am elite. And you know what, Mike Evans? The fact that you won both of these beauties tonight just goes to prove you are an elite player right here at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Plus, I have to say this pretty much for prosperity's sake. He had an interception in the Pro Bowl today.
He did. So that's yeah.
Teeing up Jarvis Landry.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, he was playing against Jarvis Landry. I'm not sure who he picked it off from. I think it was Andrew Luck. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Andrew Luck. Yeah, that's right.
He baited Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I saw the clip, like a 6-second clip. I didn't get to watch the Pro Bowl, other reasons, but
he has more interceptions this year than Brent Grimes.
Ooh, I wonder. I guess his vibe never got thrown off. All right, Ren. Well, with that note, that's going to do it for us, man. That is the third annual PewterCast Award show here going down in the books, man. It is hard to believe that it's going to be a whole other year for us to do this one again.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, why is it hard to believe?
I like the show. It's fun. It's a fun show. We got a whole year to wait. It's like you get on Christmas and you open everything up. It's like, I got to wait another year to do this again. All right. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I don't understand why it makes it hard to believe. I mean, do you want to do it mid-season next year?
Yes.
Mid-season awards?
No, I want to hand out the 4th annual PewterCast Awards in July. That's when I would like to do it.
Oh, okay. So we should start prepping for the show now?
Right before training camp. That's when we should be voting. So, no, don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Well, hey, listen, I want to say...
We could do it after training camp. Coach, training camp, coach of the month is... let's do this once a month, Ren. No, don't do that. It gets expensive. All right. Player that everyone wanted to keep but ended up getting cut.
There you go.
Award goes to...
All right. Hey, listen, all the winners, listen, guys, seriously, to all the winners, congratulations to everybody. There's an actual physical trophy. You guys are going to be getting that. That'll be your award. But, guys, the biggest thing is just remember, this is a fan-voted award. This isn't just us sitting around. This is what 13,677 individual people came out and voted. And those are the guys who voted for you. So, it's a fan voted award. So that's the big thing. The trophy just kind of is there to commemorate that. But that'll be there. We'll make sure we get these out to you and do that. I'd like to say thank you to all of those 13,677 people who voted.
Yes.
Wow, you guys killed the goal of 10,000. So thank you guys so much. Hope we can triple it again next year, Ren. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, why not?
let's enjoy the win first, Brent. Let's enjoy the win for a little while first.
All right, and I also want to say thank you to everybody who was part of our nominating committee. You guys know who you are, and you never know when you might get tapped on the shoulder if you're watching this, when you could be part of the next PewterCast Awards Show nominating committee. And one more very special thank you, Ren, that I have to get out as we close out the show. Corey Draper over at the Play Reaction. He is the guy who made all the videos that you guys saw tonight, except for that first one. That one came from the Buccaneers. But all the videos that you guys have seen, he put those together for us. He put together those video packages. So, Corey, thank you guys so much. You guys make sure you check out his YouTube channel, the Play Reaction. Corey Draper, follow him on Twitter and all those kind of fun places. He is awesome. He took his time to do all that. And we do that. So
yeah, they were really good. I remember when you told me, like, yeah, Corey's putting together something for us. I'm like, okay, but I don't really understand how long it takes to put something together like that. I know he is a video editor by trade, so obviously he can do it a lot quicker than you or I can. But still, I mean, it looks like even if you're click, even if one thing, you have to find the pictures and you got to put it. He took some time into it, and I would like to personally thank Corey for really upping the production value of this YouTube video. And I'm gonna say it, like, I'm gonna tweet it out, like, if you want to download and listen to it, that's fine. But I'm telling you, the place to watch this one episode of the PewterCast is on YouTube, because you're just gonna enjoy it more. It's the place to watch it, and it's all because of Corey.
Yeah. If you guys are listening to this on the podcast feed, awesome. Go back and watch the YouTube video. You guys will like it. It was pretty good. So, all right, Ren. Well, with that, I guess that's going to do it for us. I guess, actually, here's this thing too, Ren. I should say this. Thank you to you for joining me on this little adventure here with the PewterCast, for helping keep most of my harebrained ideas in check. And honestly, just adding so much to the show. This is sort of your anniversary show. And for that, I have one more Pewty to give out. And you won in a landslide, my friend. You get the PewterCast Award for co-host of the year.
Who was I up against?
Hey, don't worry about that. We didn't get the nominees in for that one. But it was all you, man.
It was just me and you, though, right?
Yes, it was.
How big were the vote? How big was the landslide?
You won 100% of the voting for this one.
Well, I appreciate that. And although one day I really want a Pewty, I do, because I just think they're super cool. But yeah, no, thank you. I mean, you were talking about it at the beginning, and I guess I really didn't pick up on that, how you're like, yeah, it's kind of like an anniversary for you. And I'm like, okay, whatever. If people who haven't heard the story, the very first PewterCast award show, I was just a guest. Like, you brought me in to sort of bounce back and forth off of.
Right.
And as soon as that show ended, you said, hey, do you want to co-host with me next year? And I went, yeah. You want me to like put on some headphones and talk Buccaneers football? Yes, Brent, I can do that. And like, we hadn't even, like, I didn't even know what you looked like at the time.
Yeah.
We had never met. You were living in South Carolina.
That's right. Yeah. Oh gosh, I was still up there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like we didn't know each other from Adam. I was going to try to say Corey, try to be funny, but no one would have got it, including you. I can tell by your face. So anyway, yeah, thanks, man. I mean, this sort of podcast has taken up a big chunk of my life that wouldn't have been there if it wasn't, for you starting it. And then me calling in and you taking pity on me and asking me to host a few shows, and then look at this. Here we are. We've got 342 people in YouTube right now in the chat room,
which is awesome. That thing has grown up.
I was waiting for you to dispute that. That is not true.
I'm not going to dispute that. If you want to know how many people, you got to go join and find out how many people were there. But we do have. Well, but I mean, there's even that, Ren. Like, you look, like, we didn't have a YouTube channel before
this year,
right? And so it now we have, I don't know, it's over 300 subscribers, just here in the last year. Our Twitter count has doubled and knocking on the door of 2,000 right now. It's just been a lot that's happened this year. And truthfully, a lot of it really is thanks to you and the additions that you've made to the show. So, man, thank you for that. But with that, enough gushing between the two of us. Why don't we go ahead and wrap up the show? We'll get out of here, guys. Listen, stay tuned to us here throughout the offseason. We got lots of great content planned for you guys coming out. We've actually even got a show in the can. We got to just push it out there. So that'll be coming out very, very shortly as well.
Before it becomes
before it
sensitive.
goes stale, right? So, guys, with that, we will talk to you guys later. You guys are awesome. We'll see you then. And we'll close the show out, as always, as we do every PewterCast. Go Bucs.